Hello, wrestling fans! This is Sean's View Entertainment, the most dedicated and prolific WWE news source on the web. Subscribe now for hourly WWE breaking news, hard-hitting rumors, and more. And don't forget to smash that bell for notifications, comment, and share. Are you a true wrestling fanatic? Become a channel member right now to show your support and send us super thanks in the comment section today.
Backstage panic is reportedly spreading inside the WWE, and I am not exaggerating when I say the last 24 hours have turned into a full-blown domino effect. Because today isn't just about WWE or Raw, it's about the news, the rumors, the fallout, the backlash, the John Cena, the Cody Rhodes, the predicaments, the plots. It's thickening right here, and we have outrageous blockbuster news we are going to unveil throughout this entire episode that you soon do not want to miss. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the John Cena retirement backlash that is still exploding and updating. WWE trying to turn that backlash into heat. Austin Theory's Masked Man mystery officially ends last night. Major injuries confirmed, and then a separate headline that's going to shock a lot of people when they hear it during this very episode of The Brash and the Brazen. So buckle up, because I'm giving you all the WWE news, the biggest wrestling news today so far, and I'm separating what's confirmed and what's reported so we don't get played by bad information. Quick reminder, some of this is official and some of this is reported backstage info. Details can change. If you want nonstop updates, make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell, turn on all notifications, and comment your take, because the comment section is basically our live war room. Remember to donate below with a Super Thanks donation right at the top of the video, as we always do each and every week, because it's all about the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers. What was your review? What was your take? What was your overall value of Monday Night Raw last night, the red brand of Raw on Netflix? What to you stood out? What struck you? What was the match of the night? What was the moment of the night? Who was the superstar of the night? What was the champion of the night last night? What did you think about the angles and the storylines, if there were any? What did you think about Austin Theory being unveiled? A lot of people thought it was going to be Montez Ford behind the mask. Everyone thought it was going to be somebody else. But again, it all boils down to your raw review from last night, ladies and gentlemen, because it shines through with my viewers, my fans, my subscribers, most importantly, my channel members, the channel members that bring this to here. And guys, I can't tell you, it's been a bad, hellacious last several months for me, money-wise, and you know all the time, effort, emotion. Oh, well, Sean, get a real job. YouTube is a job, and I'm trying to make it my job, but it's been very overwhelmingly hard. It's been tough. Money's been down. Revenue's been down, but we need the support of you. Whether everybody donates $1 or everybody becomes a channel member, it definitely will help out the channel. But guys, before you donate, remember to hype up the video. It's so important to hype up the video. Share this video all over the entire internet, because now more than ever, we need your help. Let's start with the biggest cloud hanging over the company, the reaction to John Cena's final match finish. There are reports that WWE officials were actually caught off guard about how negative the fan response got after Cena tapped out to Gunther. Really? Really? You were actually shocked by that? You were actually stunned by that? And it's not just fans. More reports claim that the locker room itself had mixed feelings about the John Cena finish where he tapped out. Because again, John Cena should add a better finish. John Cena should add a hero's going away, a hero's welcome and a hero's goodbye. Now, that's a big deal, because if the locker room is split, then it means behind the curtain you've got two competing mindsets. One side saying Gunther needed the biggest win of his career and Cena going out on his back in the most pro wrestling thing possible. The other side, though, is saying, yeah, but Cena's last match ending in a tap out is going to be controversial forever. And again, this is ranking right up with the shock of The Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak coming to an end. It's actually going up with that, ladies and gentlemen. So should John Cena's final match have ended with him tapping out? Yes or no? Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. Because your answer decides if WWE is sitting on heat or sitting on a problem. It all boils down to your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. It's all about your emotions here on The Brash and the Brazen. We deliver you the goods. But here is the real twist, viewers. Here is the real twist. WWE has a habit when they see backlash. They either double down and weaponize it or course correct and try to cool the room down. And Raw made it feel like WWE chose door number one in my estimation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got breaking details coming out of Monday Night Raw last night. Backstage details that you're not going to hear or see anywhere else. You'll hear it here first, and of course, you'll hear it repeated everywhere else. What did you think about Raw opening with Gunther in the building after retiring Cena, and the crowd reaction was vicious? Gunther leaned into it, fed on it, and basically told everyone, yeah, I ended your hero. I made him tap out like a bee. This escalated into WWE officials stepping in and Gunther being ejected from the building. This wasn't WWE trying to calm the backlash down. This was WWE saying, you hate him, good, keep hating him, we're building a monster. Then you got chaos in the women's title picture. WWE's own results recap says Nikki Bella interfered in the women's world title match and affected both competitors, causing a no contest, throwing the whole scenario into disorder. And if you're watching this thinking, okay, WWE is stacking disruptions tonight. Yes, that's exactly what the show felt like. Disruption and disruption after disruption. Now, here's the one that everybody's talking about. The masked man identity is done. We all now know it is Austin Theory. It's not a theory anymore. Get it? It was officially revealed as Austin Theory as the masked man in the most undramatic way. This was weeks of mystery, but really, was it a payoff? And WWE used it to slam the gas pedal on the entire main event ecosystem. Because once Theory is unmasked, the story immediately becomes, why Theory? Who's he really aligned with? And who does this put in danger next? Who is really going to be put into danger? Or who is going to be put into the driver's seat? And then Punk's night gets wrecked because Braun Breaker attacks him, and you can feel WWE telling you out loud, Punk is still Punk, but the new power players are real and they are violent. So by this point, Raw was stacked. Cena's fallout heat, a women's division disruption, the masked man reveal, and Punk getting targeted. That's not random. That's WWE trying to create a new weekly anything can happen era. And I always say on this channel, anything can happen in the WWE. Now I'm seeing this wild rumor online claiming that fans crossed the lines and other chaos rumors, but I'm not noting and I'm not running those as fact unless we see legitimate confirmation. If you're hearing something, drop it in the comments and we'll separate legit updates from internet noise. WWE provided an injury update on LA Knight, saying he suffered a cracked sternum and is out of it indefinitely, and multiple outlets are reporting that update today. Whether you love or hate this injury right off, here's why it matters. LA Knight missing time changes. Time changes for LA Knight. The yeah man. Who's in the U.S. title lane? Who's available for big angles? And who WWE has to elevate fast? Who is going to be able to, now with LA Knight eliminated and out of the picture, who is going to fill the void? Who's going to fill the shoes of LA Knight? Yeah. Now let's hit another real-life headline. Damian Priest spoke about having a reduced schedule in 2025 due to injuries, and he listed multiple issues he's dealing with while WWE tries to preserve him long-term. That's the past that fans can't seem to forget. WWE, well, let's actually, if I'm going to go back here on this one, this is where fans sometimes forget that these are real humans. WWE can choose chaos and book chaos on TV, but the roster is a real machine, and when injuries stack up, you'll feel that in the pacing, pushes, and story changes. Now, here's the big story that is sparking a lot of debate today. Mick Mankind Foley. Also, Rob Van Dam, RVD, confirms in-ring return. The return of Mr. PPV, Mr. RVD, Rob Van Dam, coming back into professional wrestling in a wrestling ring again in 2026. But here is the story that is going to spark a lot of debate today. A major WWE star has closed the book, has left the WWE, has parted ways with World Wrestling Entertainment over Donald Trump. Yes, you heard that right, viewers. And I want your thoughts, your comments, your opinions, because this is a big one. And remember to become a channel member today. Donate with a super thanks donation with your credit card below. It really will help out the channel because we are in desperate need. I hate to beg and moan, but we are. And you all know the time, the blood, the sweat, the tears I put into this. Mick Foley announced that he has parted ways with WWE, and it's connected to WWE's relationship with U.S. President Donald Trump. Whether your politics are the reason that this matters is in wrestling news is because Mick Foley is a legend. Mick Mankind Foley, Cactus Jack, Do Love Mankind, whatever you want to go by. And when a legend walks away publicly, that becomes a headline that the WWE can't just ignore. Again, whatever your politics are, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. The fact of the matter is a lot of fans might be saying, well, today's fans, they don't even know who Mick Foley is. They don't even recognize Mankind. They don't know who Cactus Jack is. But in another emotional beat today, breaking news on AJ Styles. According to those in the know, it seems like AJ Styles will retire in the very early of 2026, perhaps February or March. So it doesn't even seem like AJ Styles is going to make it to WrestleMania, which would be a very sad state of affairs. That is why the WWE had AJ Styles and Gunther have a face-off last night, because it seems like they're going to have Gunther go on this ruthless aggression thing, where he's going to retire all the Ruthless Aggression stars, from John Cena to Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam next year. Then he's going to retire AJ Styles, who came in after the Ruthless Aggression era, and then he might retire Randy Orton. So yeah, Gunther's going to go on this big killing spree of the Ruthless Aggression, which is a very sad state of affairs. Not something you want to see, not something you want to notice. But again, we got another emotional update. According to those that know, on the Viper, Randy Orton, as he posted a tribute to John Cena, explained why he wasn't at Cena's final match, saying he was tied up with promotional obligations in Saudi Arabia connected to WWE business. That's not storyline. That's the real side of WWE, where obligations, media, and travel commitments can override even historic locker room moments. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got breaking news for WWE in 2026. Remember to like, comment. Your opinions matter. Remember to share this video all over social media. Ladies and gentlemen, CM Punk will be defending the WWE World Heavyweight title versus Braun Breaker. Also, a women's tag team title match is being added, and this is important because WWE stacked cards usually mean WWE is trying to keep momentum high and prevent the post-big event drop. Of course, we got NXT tonight. Here's the pipeline. Included a Women's World North American title match and a number one contender fatal four-way. And if Raw is chaos and SmackDown is positioning for the next month, NXT is the pipeline WWE uses when they need fresh faces ready to step in. And as you see, the WWE is already starting to build the future. The WWE is already starting to refine what the WWE is going to look like in 2026. Is going to be looking drastically different with new faces added to the WWE roster. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, AEW has a major World's End pay-per-view set. Samoa Joe defending the AEW World title in a three-way against Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland. That's a huge year-end headline because it's star power, title stakes, and that kind of match AEW uses to end the year with a bang. There's also coverage today mentioning AEW Dark returning as a one-night stocking stuffer style drop on YouTube, and that's one of those fan service moves that pops the online crowd fast. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers over in TNA, Santino Marella is replacing Matt Cardona in a TNA versus NXT steel cage match after Cardona got injured. That's a strong headline because it connects promotions and keeps the brand warfare energy alive. ROH coverage is still cycling, not crying, but Tony Khan might be crying, but from the final battle season and ongoing Honor Club content, not the loudest headline today, but still part of the overall wrestling ecosystem. So if you zoom out, today basically wrestling is telling you WWE is trying to turn Cena Backlash into a new villain era for Gunther. Raw is building fresh chaos engine with Austin Theory unmasked and Punk being targeted. Injuries are forcing real roster shifts, and wider world AEW, NJPW, and TNA is loading major pieces together, which brings us to the final question. Do you think the WWE is about to enter a hot, new, unpredictable era, or do you think they're risking backlash fatigue by stacking too much too fast? All this chaos, all this bedlam. Drop your comments and your answers below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and if you want, I'll do today so far recaps like this daily around the clock. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had the Raw results, the recap, the coverage, the Gunther promo, the unmasking, the WWE blindsided, LA Knight being injured, Mick Foley parting ways at WWE due to Donald Trump, the SmackDown tape spoiler, which we will not reveal the spoilers for this show, the WWE Raw First 2026 card addiction, and is the fan backlash. Is John Cena so mad? Could John Cena be so upset that John Cena ends up signing with AEW? Could that happen? Could John Cena have the proper, actual, real send-off that John Cena needs and that John Cena deserves? Could John Cena go to another wrestling brand? Listen, money talks, guys. Tony Khan's got the money. He's got the bank account. AEW's got the bank account. They got the bank deposits. They got the checks. That if they want to sign John Cena, if they want John Cena to debut in AEW and have the kind of send-off that he was meant to have, well, then AEW could be the place for that for John Cena. But again, that is only rumor, gossip, and speculation at this time. Do you think AEW would be the real place for John Cena to go? Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions, because we never slow down. We just keep going. Because, viewers, we count on you. The backbone of this channel, you guys are the heartbeat. You guys are the backbone of Sean Entertainment and what I do. Leave your comments. Now, I'll also go on to this one, guys. We're also going to go into this. We got bonus updates, huge coverage. What do you think about LA Knight being written off? Now, we got breaking news on the Royal Rumble for next year. According to those in the know, plans can change, and it is always subject to change. But we are receiving word that one of the front runners to win the Royal Rumble next year is going down to a Braun Breaker or an LA Knight, which tells me that Braun Breaker probably won't be defeating CM Punk for the World's Heavyweight Championship on Monday Night Raw in 2026. But viewers, fans, and subscribers, If you write off LA Knight and you have him come back in January to a big pop, a big return, that would be absolutely stellar. Although the fans over there in Saudi Arabia, they're not too loud, they're not too boisterous, but hopefully for the Royal Rumble, they won't be too quiet, and hopefully the Saudi Arabia crowd will be hot that night. I am hoping. I am anticipating they're going to be, but you just never, ever know. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, if John Cena did go to AEW because he's so mad over the WWE, well, listen, you got two stars now that are out of WWE. Cena left WWE because he retired and he tapped out. And now you have Mick Foley parting ways with the WWE because of Donald Trump. So, I mean, you have all this confliction. You have all this pandemonium going on just a few days after the retirement of John Cena, which some people, many people, are still not selling with. They can't believe it. They don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe that we'll never see John Cena ever again. But then there's this other rumor going out there. Listen, I want to make it perfectly clear. I want to make it very clear. John Cena is still going to be involved with the WWE. We will still see John Cena in a WWE ring here and there on rare occasions, but it will never be as a wrestler ever again. However, I am receiving rumors and gossip. Again, this can change. It's always subject to change. That John Cena could return in a role, not only to help out the young guys backstage and the young and up-and-comers, the future of the WWE, the development of the WWE, but John Cena could be an on-air screen character as a Raw GM or a SmackDown general manager. Or John Cena could run both Raw and SmackDown. What would you think about John Cena returning as an on-screen character for Raw or SmackDown as the GM? That would be something interesting. That would be something different. Make no mistake about it. Imagine when the day comes that Randy Orton and John Cena are both retired, because I already know Cena's retired. I get that. But what happens, because the day's going to be coming, it's looming, the day's, boy, I'll tell you what, it's coming more than we want to even think about, more than what we want to expect. But imagine if Randy Orton was the GM of Raw and John Cena was the GM of SmackDown. Then you had Randy Orton and John Cena going at it via general managers. Now, that would be something else, viewers. That would be something else. That's huge. That is major. That is cataclysmic if you're asking the brash and the brazen. But as we always do, we go further, we extend. Here it is, viewers. John Cena's first post-retirement public appearance announced. Also, AEW Doc Stocking Stuffer Kyle Fletcher names WWE veterans as promo inspiration. And viewers, fans, and subscribers, Randy Orton pays a heartfelt tribute to John Cena following his retirement. And, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about Cody Rhodes? Drew McIntyre. This is taking on a whole nother angle, a whole nother situation. Drew McIntyre granted a WWE title match and brawls with Cody Rhodes at his home. A home invasion, viewers. A home invasion between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. What do you think about this angle, this scenario between these two superstars? It is absolutely off the damn chain. Also, viewers, fans, and subscribers, WWE allegedly wanted Cody Rhodes to be the next John Cena. Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, we got breaking news on WrestleMania next year, because according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters, it would appear as if WWE's current plans for Brock Lesnar at next year's WrestleMania will pit Gunther one-on-one with Brock Lesnar. It finally will happen. It finally will go down. Gunther, Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. The match that was supposed to happen a couple years ago. WWE reveals the full list of the NXT 2025 year-end rewards anonymies. Brian Cage and Lance Archer snubbed from Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day teaser trailer. A massive positive update on Will Ospreay's recovery after neck surgery. And Kim Orton shares an intimate photo from Saudi Arabia trip with the Viper, Randy Orton. And Austin Theory drops a 2-word statement after WWE Raw unmasking. Also, Kyle Fletcher confirms big money AEW contract offer, and Cody Rhodes' WWE return deal came down to the wire. Before WrestleMania 38, if you can believe that one. Also, Solo Sikoa destroys a heckler with a brutal burn at the WWE SmackDown taping. And Seth Rollins says that modern WWE heels, WWE bad guys, can't handle being villains. And Amanda Huber posted an emotional tribute to Brody Lee on his birthday. I still cannot believe that most of the Wyatt family are no longer with us and are dead. From Bray Wyatt to Luke Harper. Brody Lee, very sad, very horrible, very tragic. I still cannot believe it. Also, there is an admitting going on that the WWE jumped the gun with Travis Scott after deal collapse. And WWE officials are very pleased with NXT stars at Cena's retirement show at Saturday Night's Main Event. Call-ups are imminent. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we are receiving word that RVD's wife, Katie Forbes, hospitalized with a dangerous pregnancy complication. And WWE books a loaded Christmas week edition for the December 22nd Raw. CM Punk went off on Steiner Brothers after Braun Breaker mentions AJ Lee during the 12:15 Monday Night Raw. And viewers, fans, and subscribers, Becky Lynch calls out WWE Raw double standard after Gunther gets sent home. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot more headlines, a lot more breaking news to give to you. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you like this format, if you like this video, if you like the length of time, if you like all the expertise, subscribe right now because we got plenty more to come around the clock, multiple videos a day because we keep you glued to the screen because I'll always make you feel some sort of way. Subscribe.